Recording stop. Let us say I am very hungry and I go to a dry clean shop and say to dry clean wala that please dry clean my coat. Just by dry cleaning the coat, my hunger will not be finished. Similarly, this body is like the coat. Even if you wash the coat or give a coat good treatment, the person is never satisfied. The soul only finds satisfaction in relationship to devotion to God. Once there was an old lady. She had a beautiful parrot who used to sing all kind of songs. The lady thought I should buy a golden cage for the parrot. And she was very much attached to the cage more than the parrot because anyone who came to see would glorify the cage. Slowly, slowly, she paid more attention to the cage and she forgot to feed the parrot. The result was very disastrous. The parrot became weak and died. This is a situation for people who are attached to Bhoga and Aishwarya. They are polishing the body, which is like a cage, to the soul, which is parrot inside the body. And fools as they are, they would never think that the solution to happiness is much simpler. Rather than making so much effort, I should just have devotion to Krishna, then I will become happy. They will keep on trying new methods for happiness in material world and never give attention to relationship with Krishna. Only people who understand that there is no happiness in this material world can become fixed in the process of devotional service to Krishna. We are spirit soul, eternal spirit soul who have been put in non-eternal environment. We are not supposed to experience birth, death, old age and disease. And no matter what material facility we have in this world, we will always face them. So, intelligent people understand the nature, the suffering nature of this material world and take to devotional service with one-pointed attention. Text 47. कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्मफल हेतुभूर् मा कर्मफल हेतुभूर् मा ते संगोस्तकर्मणि मास्ते संगोस्तकर्मणि. Now, Krishna is saying that in order to come to the position of becoming a devotee, you should do your duties in such a manner that you are not attached to the result of the duties. You do it with great dedication. Neither you want to do the duties as your whimsical mind. The duty means that they are assigned by the scripture and the spiritual master. Both the scripture and the spiritual master are representative of God, Krishna. And if a devotee does his duty with dedication, that is his right, adhikar, he will get purification of the heart. For example, a Mataji, she has two children, and if she takes care of the children nicely to make them devotees of Krishna, by doing this duty every day, her heart will be purified and she will become pure devotee of Krishna. Krishna is not saying run away from the duties that are to be done in this material world. Rather, he is saying do those duties with enthusiasm and determination, but not with calculation of fruits. A mother who raises her children should not think that these children will give her sense gratification during her old age or have similar expectation. She should simply do the duty for pleasing Krishna. Such performance of duty helps one realize that he is different from the body. Because through acceptance of difficulties, one will realize the reciprocation of the Lord, and the transcendental knowledge will be awakened. A student should study nicely his academic books so that one day he can serve in Srila Prabhupada's mission. He should not be lazy, nor he should be calculating that I will become a successful materialist. I will earn lot of money. He should be doing his duty so that in future he will be able to contribute in the mission of Srila Prabhupada by preaching and dedicating his life. Then that duty will give him spiritual realizations. Academics is just like fighting of Arjuna on the battlefield. Krishna is not saying run away from battlefield. He is saying fight for the higher cause of establishing dharma. Similarly, anything which is done for establishment of dharma, whether it is a mother raising two children, whether it is a person going and doing corporate job, or whether a student studying in school, if it is done for the higher purpose of establishment of Krishna consciousness in the society, as guided by the scripture and the spiritual master, then that duty will give one realization that I am spirit soul different from the body. Text 59. Vishya vinivartante niraharasya dehina raso varjam rasopi asya param dishtva nivartate. This verse tells that in spiritual life there is a great higher taste. A devotee is not just restraining his senses, gritting his teeth. he is really enjoying spiritual life so much that he doesn't find taste in material sense enjoyment. If a devotee sings kirtan and songs of Krishna, he will lose taste for singing cinema songs. The songs of our acharyas are filled with deep devotional feelings and they churn our heart and give us enormous happiness. On the other hand, the cinema songs, although their music is good, but they are talking about filthy matter of this material world. Like talking about the mundane love affair and male-female relationship, which has nothing so significant as even animals are also doing the same thing. A male cockroach is running after female cockroach in the ditch. So, a devotee, by service to Krishna, loses all material attraction because there is so much happiness in devotion to Krishna. A child who is very much attached to eating mud, but once you give the child nice sweet like rasgulla, he throws the mud and doesn't think about the mud, he enjoys eating the rasgulla. A devotee is like this child who has got enormous sweet in his heart. Initially, we are following the principle, but as the process goes on, it becomes more and more nectarian, filled with happiness. The life of our great acharyas was filled with so much happiness that they found even sleeping to be waste of time because chanting, hearing about Krishna gives enormous amount of oceanic happiness. It is a common logic to apply that if they were not enjoying life, how could they leave their big position as ministers of the king, so much opulence, and living like a beggar in Vrindavan? How much happiness they must have been enjoying to choose their life on their own. Nobody forced them. They chose that life of constantly chanting and hearing and serving the Lord and deriving great happiness. Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam Kevalya Nistarako. Text 61. Tani sarvani samyamya yukta sitamat para vashe yashendriyani tasya pragya pratishtita. In this verse, it is said, all the senses, if they are engaged in service to Krishna, then one mind and intelligence becomes controlled and one becomes a sober sthita pragya. If one of the senses is also not used in service to Krishna, it can derail one from the path of spiritual life. If a person watches movie, he can become bewildered just by that. But if all the senses are used in service of Krishna, then you get happiness all around. Maharaj Amrish, he used his mind to think of Krishna. He used his tongue to glorify Krishna. He used his hand in wiping the temple room. He used his ear to hear about Krishna. He used his eyes to see the deity form of Krishna. He used his body to touch the lotus feet of devotees. He used his tongue to take prasadam. He used his nose to smell the flowers and tulsi offered to Krishna. He used his head in offering obeisances to Krishna. He used his leg in going to the temple and holy places. And he used his desire to fulfill the desire of Krishna. Like this, he became a Matpara, very dear devotee of Krishna. We should not leave any room for Maya to come and take us away from Krishna. After millions of births, we have got this opportunity to become devotee of Krishna. And Maya, if it sees one of the door in our life is open, she will definitely come from that door and grab us and take us away. So, all the senses should be used in service of Krishna. And why not? If service to Krishna is so pleasurable, why not use all the senses and derive great pleasure? Text 62. ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसां संगस्ते जो बचायते संगा संजायते कामा कामात् क्रोधो विजायते ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसां संगस्ते जो बजायते संगा संजायते कामात् कामात् क्रोधो विजायते. In this sequence, Lord Krishna is helping us understand how a living entity falls from a good position. The sequence starts by thinking about a particular sense object again and again. If something comes in your mind and goes away, that is not so dangerous. But you keep on thinking about a particular thing, then it becomes a very strong attachment in your mind. A devotee, if he keeps on thinking, I will get good paying job, then his mind will run after job, not after Krishna. So, Krishna is saying, do not repeatedly think about material objects, think about me. Because if you continue to think about material object, they will produce lust, and lust will produce anger. Sometime in our relationships, we find that somebody is expressing repeated anger. The reason is they have lust in the heart. That means they have lot of expectation from other person. They think this person should behave like this, should say like this, and when things do not work according to his plan, he becomes angry. Anger is one of the biggest problem in this material world. Because of anger, so many wars are taking place. Because of anger, so many marriages are breaking down. Because of anger, so many children are getting beaten. So, anger is such a bad quality. But in order to get rid of the anger, one must not contemplate material object, but should always think how to serve Krishna. I should please Krishna, not think about my own pleasure. Text 63. क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहात् क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहात् सम्मोहात् स्मृतिविभ्रमा सम्मोहात् स्मृतिविभ्रमात् स्मृतिभ्रमसात् बुद्धिनाशो स्मृतिभ्रमसात् बुद्धिनाशो बुद्धिनाशः पनश्यति बुद्धिनाशः पनश्यति. Anger, it will lead to delusion. Delusion means mind will start working like a intoxicated person. You will start losing discrimination. And once in delusion, your good memory will go away. Spiritual master, scriptures, they have given you many nice instructions that are stored in the memory. All those things will be forgotten. Because of strong anger which has come. And once you forget that, Smriti Bhamsat Buddhi Nasha, intelligence will be thrown out of the picture and one will fall down. Fall down here means that instead of leading a good life towards higher upliftment, you now degrade yourself. For example, so many students in the colleges, they are now drinking wine and are taking drugs. They were given good advice by their parents and teachers, but because of bad association and because of not controlling the senses, their intelligence have gone into dustbin. They are not able to see that it is such a harmful thing for them and their future is completely spoiled. So, the summary of this is that we should always accept the direction of the spiritual master and the scriptures. We should always think how to please Krishna and not how to have a good life in this material world. Don't think about sense objects more and more. It will lead to the entire sequence and finally one will lose the track and fall down. यज्ञार्थात् कर्मोऽन्यत्र लोकोऽयं कर्म बंधना तदर्थम कर्म कौन्तेय मुक्त संग समाचरा. In this verse, Lord Krishna is saying that whatever you may do in this world, do it in relationship to Krishna in mood of sacrifice. If you try to do it independently, that activity will bind you in this material world and it will cause great suffering. So, a living entity has got multiple desires. There is no harm in satisfying those desires, but offering it to Krishna. That is the beginning of devotion. You want to eat food? Eat good food, but offer it to Krishna and then take. Want to have a job? Do a good job, but offer the fruit of your result to Krishna. Do the job for Krishna. Want to have marriage? Marry a good devotee. So, everything which is done in relationship to Krishna, it gives mukta sanga samachara. It liberates you from this material world. And anything which one does on his own account for the purpose of sense enjoyment binds one more and more. It is something like this, that there is quicksand and a person who tries to make effort to come out of the quicksand will definitely go downward and downward and downward. But in this quicksand, if one gets a rope and somebody pulls out of the rope, then he just has to hold on to the rope and the rope will take him out of the quicksand. Similarly, a devotee, by offering fruits to Krishna, he gets help of Krishna to take him out of the material world. Text 13. यज्ञशिष्टाशिना संतो मुच्यन्ते सर्वकिल विषे भुञ्जते तत्वगं पाप ये पचन्त्यात्मकारणात्. This verse is the basis of taking prasadam. Krishna is saying that if somebody offers fruit, vegetable, and so on to him, that becomes purified and it gives him protection from the material nature. On the other hand, those who eat food for their enjoyment only eat sins. People are going to restaurant, not only they eat dirty food, but they also get diseases and lot of karma. On short term and in long term, we can see how people are getting diseases like cancer, heart attack, obesity, just by eating bad food for their enjoyment. Krishna is saying, if you take prasadam, you will be freed from sins, muchyante sarva kilpishe, and your heart will be purified. There are so many stories of devotees giving prasadam to non-devotees, and just by taking prasadam on and on, somebody becomes a devotee. In America, there was one madman who was outside New York temple. And this madman used to shout to people, "Don't go inside this, there are crazy people living in the temple." However, the devotees were very kind. While coming out and going in, they would give this madman some prasadam. And after a few months, the madman shouted everyone that please go. They are the most wonderful people on this earth. They are doing the best service to humanity. Please come. Like this, his heart has changed. So, the potency of prasadam is such that whether one knows or not, it will act. Ramanujacharya is a great saint of South India who was instrumental in establishing Tirupati and Sri Ranganath temple. Same Ramanujacharya once was going around the temple distributing prasadam to various living entities. He reached the pond and gave some prasadam to the fishes. And as we all know, the fishes are very eager to take prasadam. They came to the surface, pat, they all ate the prasadam, and as soon as they ate it, they assumed their four-handed form and reached Vaikuntha. All the disciples who were there with Ramanujacharya also saw this. They said, how come these fishes have got this spiritual form just by once taking prasadam, and we are not getting the form although we are daily taking prasadam? So Ramanujacharya said, these fishes do not consider prasadam to be ordinary. You think that prasadam is like an ordinary food. In your mind, you do not know that this is transcendental. To you, it appears in the same manner. Therefore, you are not getting it. So, prasadam is directly Krishna's mercy. The English translation of prasadam is mercy of Krishna. So, how merciful Krishna is that for the purpose of saving the living entity in this material world, He has given prasadam. It is very simple. Only thing is, devotee should determine that as far as possible, I will not take non-prasadam cooked by non-devotees. I will try to take throughout my life prasadam. And then he will see that spiritual life goes on very nicely. Text 21. Yad yad acharati shreshtas tatta deve tarojana sayat pramanam kurute lokastad anuvartate. This verse is a verse in 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which is entitled Karam Yoga. Krishna is instructing that one should perform his duties nicely and become an example for everyone, so that by following the example, people will also follow the right path. Whatever great man does, common people follow. Today, all the great men are doing nonsense. They are drinking wine. They are running madly after money. So, whole population is going to hell following such men. Krishna is saying, set a good example of a devotee of Krishna working in society. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, we will know Krishna consciousness is spreading in society when a high court judge wears tilak and performs his duty like a devotee. Because if somebody sees a devotee acting with Vaishnava qualities, he will be so much attracted. Such a great devotee example has been given by Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Once there was one criminal, and the criminal was waiting outside Bhakti Vinod Thakur's chamber, who was a high court judge. And during lunch break, Bhakti Vinod Thakur was singing his songs. Just by hearing the songs, the criminal heart changed completely. He, who was a very hard-hearted person, fell to the feet of Bhakti Vinod Thakur and begged, I want to be a devotee of Krishna. Because Bhakti Vinod Thakur gave the example how to be high court judge and simultaneously always singing the glories of Krishna. He was not doing politics in his office. He was a true devotee by his heart. Similarly, there was one person who was sentenced to death by Bhakti Vinod Thakur because he had done many murders and many bad crimes. That night, Bhakti Vinod Thakur took some prasadam and a bead and went to that man. And in a very innocent manner, Bhakti Vinod Thakur said that your soul is very innocent and a lover of Krishna. Seeing Bhakti Vinod Thakur's gesture, that criminal, his heart melted, although he was originally very arrogant. He sobbed and cried and held Bhakti Vinod Thakur's feet. And throughout the night, he chanted Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Before next day, he was hanged. But everyone described that he was completely peaceful. So, while working in society, Bhakti Vinod Thakur showed the principle of compassion, showed the principle of being non-envious, tolerance, honesty, and that is what Krishna is saying here to Arjuna. That show a life of a devotee and everyone will follow you. This is the service that any devotee can do for Srila Prabhupada's mission. If you are a student in school and you are an exemplary student with wonderful Vaishnava qualities, you give a standard to all the children in your school. If you are a worker in some corporate office, by your example, so many people understand the principle of devotion and they become attracted to Krishna. This is a practical way to serve Krishna in the society. Krishna is saying, you can serve me by becoming a good example for others. Text 27. Pakrate griyamānāni gune karmāni sarvasha ahankara vimūdātma kartahamiti manyate. Now Krishna is talking about a person who is in material consciousness. He thinks that he is the one who is doing everything. by his own power, he is able to do anything. He doesn't give credit to Krishna and the instrument of Krishna, that is the material energy. The jiva is so insignificant that if Krishna doesn't give the power to the material energy, he cannot even raise his hand. Once a devotee was being challenged by a non-devotee. The non-devotee said, I don't see that there is any controller. I can do whatever I want. Look, I can raise my hand. And when he said that, he couldn't raise his hand because a paralytic attack happened at that moment. No matter what he tried, he could not raise his hand. A jiva is so foolish that he thinks that he is the master of everyone, but actually he is being governed by the material nature. The call to nature starts from the morning, and who can control it? Nobody can control going to toilet. But the jiva is so foolish that he thinks he is the master of everything. There is a nice story in this regard. Once Akbar and Birbal. Akbar had a son after a long time, and Birbal said that Birbal came the last, and Akbar said, aren't you happy that I have a son finally? Birbal said, yes, I am happy that you have got son, and this is like going to pass a stool, the feeling that you get after coming out of the bathroom. Akbar was infuriated. He said, nonsense, Birbal, what you are talking about? I will put you in jail. Birbal said, you can put me in jail, no problem, but I have a small request. First, please, you have to honor some food at my house. And then Akbar came, and Birbal, he had prepared many wonderful dishes that Akbar liked, and he kept on feeding Akbar more and more and more. And soon the pressure of belly came, and Akbar wanted to go to toilet, but Birbal had his son sitting in the toilet, and Akbar kept on saying, come out, and Birbal's son would always say, only 5 minutes more. And it became so intolerable for Akbar that he started shouting like anything. And as Birbal's son came out, Akbar went inside, got his release, and then he came out and thanked Birbal. Then now I understood what you said the other day. So a living entity is so helpless. But in his foolishness, he thinks he is controlling everything. If Krishna doesn't give you intelligence, you can forget even your name. How tragic it would be that tomorrow morning, when somebody gets up, he doesn't even recognize his parents or his wife. To his wife, he starts saying, you are my sister. How much we are dependent on Krishna. Only a foolish person thinks he is independent. So devotee, he realizes that I am simply tossing in the material world. Krishna is the one who is governing the waves and me. Material energy is controlling me, and Krishna is controlling me and material energy both. So devotee feels his dependence on Krishna, and a non-devotee doesn't feel. So a non-devotee never gives credit to Krishna. A devotee is always thankful and grateful to Krishna. Because a devotee realizes that it is Krishna's mercy that I am able to do anything. A non-devotee, because he doesn't give credit to Krishna, he wants to enjoy this world. And in contrast, a devotee, because he wants to, he gives credit to Krishna, he always thinks how to serve Krishna. If it is Krishna's mercy, then it must be it must be for his service. मयि सर्वाणि कर्माणि सन्न्यस्याध्यात्मचेतसा निराशे निर्ममो भूत्वा युद्धस्व विगता जुरा. Now Krishna is saying that in all your activities, resign your fruits, offer them to Krishna, offer them to me. Do all your activities for me. Don't think you are the doer. Don't desire the fruits and fight. Do your activity without laziness. One should be like a bank cashier who is very dutiful in counting the notes, but doesn't make calculation about profit and loss. The profit and the loss is of the master, the bank, and as far as my duty is concerned, my duty is to count the note very, very nicely. And the bank cashier will get its salary at the end of the month. Similarly, Krishna is going to maintain me. Whatever he is going to do, it is nice. I just do this activity for Krishna without having a desire of what will come out of it. Here, Krishna is asking Arjuna to fight. But in first chapter, we found Arjuna wanted to fight for himself. He said, if I fight, how will I enjoy? Now Krishna is saying, forget about your enjoyment. You be like bank cashier. You fight. The result is not in your hand. Neither you should think about enjoying the result. It is very difficult for living entity that he is working hard and enjoyment is done by someone else. But actually, the living entity can only enjoy when one is in this consciousness that I will work hard and Krishna will enjoy. For example, if the hand thinks I will eat the gulab jamun and he will keep on rubbing the gulab jamun, no pleasure will come to the hand. But if hand places the gulab jamun in the mouth for stomach to enjoy, the stomach will distribute the energy to the hand also. The hand enjoys with cooperation. The hand does not enjoy in isolation. When a living entity realizes that I must enjoy with respect to Krishna, if I give happiness, I will be happy. Better I resign my happiness and try to make him happy, he will become happy. The example Prahlad Maharaj gives is that if you decorate the deities, you will become decorated. Krishna will decorate you with Vaishnava qualities if you decorate the deities. Just like an image in the mirror also becomes a decorated when you decorate the object. So, the real selflessness is not to look for our own happiness, but to look for Krishna's happiness. This is actually the real benefit of a jiva. Kamesha Krodesha, text number 37. Kamesha Krodesha, Kamesha Krodesha, Rajogun Samudbhava, Rajogun Samudbhava, Mahashno Mahapapma, Mahashno Mahapapma, Vidyaham Everinam, Vidyaham Everinam. Arjuna asked a question that it appears that somebody is pushing me into doing something which is very bad. Who is it? And Krishna replies in this verse, it is lust and anger which is stored in your body, in your subtle body, in your mind intelligence, which is pushing you. And when they combine with mode of passion, they become your greatest enemy. Mode of passion means the desire to enjoy apart from Krishna. I am the master. And when you think you are the master, you become angry at others. You want to control others. The best example for this is the great demon Hiranyakashipu. He had full control over the entire universe. He became very angry at the demigods. And he was extremely angry at his innocent, gentle, pure devotee son Prahlad. Prahlad loved him so much, but Hiranyakashipu was so angry that he wanted to kill Prahlad because he thought Prahlad is not obeying him. Can you imagine how can a father kill such a mild and gentle boy? But this is a result of mode of passion combined with lust and anger. So the advice that Krishna gives is that purify your heart, get rid of lust and anger, and here nicely strengthen your spiritual intelligence. Till the time desire for enjoyment apart from Krishna will be there, you will become angry, frustrated, and this will be your greatest enemy, Mahaverinam. Very means they are your enemy. They are not your friend. Chapter 4, text 2. एवं परंपरा प्राप्तम इमं राजर्षयो विदु सकाले नेहा महता योगो नष्ट परंतप. Krishna is giving in this chapter how to receive the transcendental knowledge. And what is the transcendental knowledge? In this verse, he tells that the transcendental knowledge is obtained by the system of Guru Sishya Parampara. From Krishna comes 4 disciplic succession. Krishna teaches to Brahmaji and Brahma Sampradaya comes. Krishna teaches to Lord Shiva, and from that Rudra Sampradaya comes. Krishna teaches to Lakshmi ji, and from Shri Sampradaya comes. Krishna instructs Kumaras, and from that Kumara Sampradaya comes. Then Brahmaji teaches Narad Muni. Narad Muni teaches Vyasadev. Vyasadev teaches Madhvacharya. And in this way, Srila Prabhupada is coming. This disciplic succession is known as Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya. Brahmaji, Madhvacharya, Gaudiya means Lord Chaitanya and his devotees. Sampradaya. Without Sampradaya, one cannot receive knowledge. Just like if you want to become a doctor, you should go to medical college and learn under trained medical doctors who act as professor. Just by reading books, you cannot become a medical doctor. Similarly, if you want to get understanding of devotional service, you must go to devotees who are coming in disciplic succession starting from Krishna. Krishna is like a powerhouse who generates electricity. And from the powerhouse, there are connections, substations, and the line is being passed from the powerhouse to substation, and from substation to poles to one's house. And if everyone is connected, then you get electricity in the house. Similarly, the powerhouse is being connected through several acharyas, and if one hears from these acharyas and they are connected to Krishna, the knowledge and the mercy will flow. This is the proof. The light, if you turn on the switch, the light in the house will glow and darkness will be removed. Similarly, if you are receiving transcendental knowledge and mantra from a spiritual master who is in disciplic succession, your life will get illuminated, darkness will go from the life, and bad habits and qualities will go. You will get inspiration to become a pure devotee. This is a gift that one gets by being in parampara. Krishna is also warning in this verse that over the period of time, people try to change the parampara. For example, after Lord Chaitanya's disappearance into spiritual world, many false sampradayas, which we call as Apas Sampradaya, came. Specifically 13 of them. And they changed his philosophy. Like once Apas Sampradaya, they said that Radha Krishna's pastime should be practiced by devotees. Another Apar Sampradaya said that at the time of initiation, a devotee should be told what his spiritual form is and he should practice that. Siddha Pranali. Like this, people changed the philosophy. We are very fortunate that we have got Srila Prabhupada's shelter, who transparently and 100% gave the teachings of the previous acharyas. Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, he wrote extensively because during his time such messages of pure disciplic succession were hardly to be found. And following Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur and Srila Prabhupada, gave so much emphasis on books that are giving the pure teachings. So, one should read Srila Prabhupada books to understand the message of Parampara. Text 7. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirбhavati bharata abhyuttanam adharmasya tadatmanam shajamiham. In this verse, Lord Krishna is telling, why does he come to material world? When does he come to material world? Whenever there is too much decrease in real spiritual knowledge and rise of irreligion, he appears here. In Srimad Bhagavatam, we find that Bhumi Devi, the earth, in the form of cow, goes to Lord Brahma's planet, complaining about the situation of demonic kings on earth. And Lord Brahma prays to Lord Vishnu, and Lord Vishnu says, I will come very soon in form of Lord Krishna and relieve the distress of Bhumi Devi. So, this verse is telling that whenever there is irreligion and religion decreases, Krishna comes. In Kali Yuga, we find this happening. So, Krishna comes in the form of his holy name. Kali Kale Krishna Rupe Nama Avatar. Seeing that Kali Yuga is an age of darkness, Krishna comes in his form of holy name and he re-establishes the principle of religion. He has also come in form of most merciful Lord Chaitanya, and he gave the Sankirtana process. Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishnam Sangopangasra Pashadam Yagir Sankirtana Praye Yajanti Hisu Medasa. Although Lord Chaitanya has a different complexion than Lord Krishna, he is Gaura, he is of golden color, but he comes as a devotee and establishes the principle of religion by giving Sankirtana. Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishnam Sangopangasar Pasham Yagir Sankirtana Praye. He gives Sankirtana. So only intelligent people will accept the path given by Lord Chaitanya. Yajanti hi sumedasa. Text 8. Paritaranaaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Now Krishna says, what does he do when he comes here? He does three things. First of all, he gives protection to sadhus, that is, his devotees, like Prahlad Maharaj. Narasimha Dev came to protect Prahlad Maharaj. Also, the protection lies in giving them the topics of his pastime. The devotees, they always want to sing the pastime of Krishna. And when Krishna comes here, he gives all the details. The devotees are always discussing about Krishna's pastime. And by singing Krishna's pastime, they are happily living here. Without that, devotees have no pleasure in living. Vinashaya cha dushkritam. The second objective is to destroy the miscreants like Kamsa, Ravan, Hiranyakashipu, those who are disturbing the law and order of Krishna. Dharma Sansthapanarthaya, and Krishna comes here to re-establish the principle of religion. Like he gave Bhagavad Gita and he arranged for Kurukshetra war so that pious king like Yudhishthir could be made the emperor of the world. These are the three purposes for which Krishna comes here. And these are the same three purposes why pure devotees also come to this world. They also want to establish the principle of religion by giving them the process of devotional service. Eternal associates of Krishna like Srila Prabhupada, they come here to give us the process of Krishna consciousness. That is their greatest mercy on us.